Do you like big things? I like big things. Do you like big monsters? That's my second favorite thing. Welcome to the Monster Zone.
Greetings, everyone. Hopefully y'all are doing all right. Angela, of course, with our intro for us.
Hopefully you're doing better than me.
Yes. Today, we're joined by our esteemed co-host, Mr. Parker.
Hello!
And this is lovely wife, Angela, and myself, Dan. I already introduced myself, but I'm going to do it twice!
And Dan's very squeaky chair.
Fuck. I will stop moving.
Yeah,
I will remain stationary.
No, we just got to we got to get you some WD-40 for that thing.
Don't even touch my chair. I think it was the arms rubbing together.
Ooh, saucy. Today, we are covering the 1958, I think, classic, but I almost would consider an unappreciated film, VARAN the Unbelievable, or Daikaiju Baran, as it's known in Japan. And as I said, it was released in 1958. There was an English counterpart called VARAN the Unbelievable, which was a butchered film, which I would probably skip over unless you really want to see it. I've never watched it. I never grew up watching that movie. So my introduction to VARAN was actually Godzilla, Monster of Monsters on the NES, and Destroy All Monsters. We'll come back to that later. Parker.
Hi.
Hello. You want to let everybody know what we got going on here today? Or who's in the movie?
So, let's start with who directed the movie. A very legendary director, Ishirō Honda, who is the man behind the original 1954 Godzilla, which is pretty crazy. And he directed a lot of other Godzilla films. He did the original King Kong versus Godzilla. He did Godzilla versus Mothra, and his last film was a Mechagodzilla film from 1975.
Yeah, Terror of Mechagodzilla.
There you go.
Was the only Godzilla movie, to my knowledge, to this point, like older Godzilla movie that was written by a woman.
Wow,
that's a good movie. It's a good movie.
So yeah, the screenplay was done by Shinichi Sekizawa. The story was done by Ken Kuronuma, and it was produced by Tomoyuki Tanaka, which I'm guessing were they all involved in.
Tomoyuki Tanaka did. Yeah.
Okay. They were all
pretty much did all the old Godzilla and Toho stuff. Yeah, okay. For sure.
And the music was done by the man who came up with the iconic Godzilla theme, Akira Ifukube. Thank you.
Yeah, you're good. And okay, so that's one of my favorite parts of this movie. We'll get into that, but I adore Ifukube's soundtrack. The only thing is a lot of his earlier work it's pretty much the same.
It's song. Very similar.
Slight alterations.
Yeah.
Yes.
So watching this movie, you see it's a Toho film. So I'm, of course, yes. Even though I'm not well versed in everything Toho, I know Toho is, they helped create Godzilla, and they are the production company behind all the Japanese kaiju, pretty much most or all of Japanese kaiju films. But you hear the music and you're like, yep, this is definitely has some Godzilla themes to it, and I didn't know that the composer was the same. So I thought that was pretty cool finding all that information out.
It's also important we should mention that the special effects director, Eiji Tsuburaya, was also the man that created this look of Godzilla, did the special effects for a majority of their movies. And we won't get into his legacy because I'm sure we'll talk about him in other movies and all that stuff. But yes, very influential effects artist.
So going through the cast, we have, and I'm going to apologize for my trying to pronounce Japanese names. Kozo Nomura as Kenji, Ayumi Sonoda as Yuriko, Fumindo Matsuo as Motohiko, Kariya Senda as Dr. Sugimoto, Akihiko Hirata as Dr. Fujimura, and Fuyuki Murakami as Dr. Yumajima.
So I'll just let you know, Akihiko Hirata was the original Dr. Serizawa.
Okay.
Yeah.
He looked very familiar.
Yes.
He was the older doctor, right? Who kind of looked like he was half asleep through the entire movie.
That's him. Okay. Well, he's the guy that made the bomb. He's like, I got the bomb. Okay. That's like, yeah. And he went and he's a lot of these people we're older, I guess, they're contracted with the production studio, so
Toho,
you would see a lot of these actors repeat. Like Yoshiro Tsuchiya. He's in a lot of it. He's the crazed dude on Son of Godzilla, the guy that goes nuts from the heat. For those of you who have seen it, but yeah, a lot of repeat actors, but it's just familiarity for me.
And we also want to shout out Haruo Nakajima, who was the man inside the monster suit. And you have to appreciate these guys who were inside the suits, because back in the day, I mean, even now when you have people in costumes, it gets really fucking hot in these costumes. And the fact is, like, and he's doing a lot of physical stuff. Like, they're doing a lot of it's a very physical performance in any of these kaiju films. These I mean, Toho has been doing Men in the Suits up. I mean, they're still doing it to a degree. But yeah, it's really cool. I mean, it's funny. It's funny to see like the limitations they have in the suits. Like they can't, like, with their back legs, like the creature pretty much has to crawl on his knees because they can't have him walking on all fours because it's a guy inside the suit. Their legs don't work like that. But
this isn't Mowgli.
My question is, I didn't look this up. Is this like a repurposed Godzilla suit?
This is actually not a repurposed Godzilla suit, though you would think, because I don't know if you know this, but Haruo Nakajima is Godzilla.
Okay, I figured as much that was the case. I figured if the original director, producer, all that are involved in this, you got to bring the guy who brought Godzilla to life. So, that's awesome.
Yes, and a lot of stuff involving Toho. He was the guy. Like he was Godzilla. He was Gyra the Green Gargantua. He was Baragon. He was a bunch of kaiju in the original Ultraman. He had a few on-screen appearances just as himself, like as a human person, which is neat. He's done everything. He's great, except he only did Godzilla up to a certain point, but he pretty much did every Godzilla up to 72, minus Son of Godzilla. There was a few shots he didn't do because they needed a taller actor to go with Baby Godzilla, so they had a bigger actor for
right.
Godzilla. And some of this, most of the scenes, but yeah.
Makes a lot of sense. But this was released October 14th, 1958 in Japan. And then, like Dan said earlier, it was released in the US as a completely different name. And they pretty much, from what I've read, they only use 16 minutes of original footage from the Japanese version in the American version.
Is that ironically how many minutes shorter it is?
Yeah. It's very odd. Just very odd.
Very odd.
And of course, when you look up a poster for this movie, there's a lot of different ones, because of course you have the original Japanese version, then you have like the Japanese poster, but also in English, and then you have the American version posters where it's a bunch of white people on the poster. They're all looking like they're hanging out on a beach, and parents just like, "Get the fuck out of here, man!"
Yeah, I'm trying to swim here.
Oh man, I can't wait to talk about the plot of this movie because it makes me so angry. Like this poor guy. But this movie ran at 87 minutes, which is just, like I said, fucking perfection. If it's 90 minutes or less, I love it. I love it so much.
So like most of these are in that golden zone of about an hour and 30 or less.
So from what I read, this was supposed to be a 3-part series. It was supposed to be 30 minutes each, and I guess the American Broadcasting and Paramount theaters, the United States was actually involved a little bit in the creation of this movie, and I guess there was that whole production company collapsed, so Toho pretty much took over the full thing, and then they just said, screw it, we're going to make this into a movie, like a full-length theatrical film. And it only took 28 days to make this movie.
That doesn't surprise me.
Which is pretty crazy to think about. I mean, I think it's crazy to think about, especially with how long movies take to make now.
Mm-hmm.
People are like making them from, 6, 9, 12, a year. It's crazy. Like 28 days, less than a month.
28 days later.
28 days later, yep. This is actually not their first team up with an American studio. They would actually do it again with one that a studio we've covered on the show before, actually. About 10 years after this, they teamed up with Rankin Bass to do some movies. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. It's good.
We love Rankin Bass here on the show.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, we do.
Go check out
Especially
our
when you-
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer episode. Listen, I gotta remember this is a Patreon episode. Hey,
Dude,
our patrons, go check out our Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer episode.
Yeah,
Do it.
Yeah, do it again. Nah.
We did it a while ago, so
Yeah.
it's been a while.
Do it again.
All right.
Anyway, you guys ready to break it down?
Hell yeah, let's do this.
You gonna help me? I might get scared.
I'll hold your hand.
Please do. I don't have any figures of Varan, so I can't.
He looks like a Varan looks like I think it's called a Galapagos iguana.
Yes,
It's an iguana that has like the things, the things that come out of its back. It's little,
Yeah.
The things.
That's what it looks like.
It's Godzilla. It's Godzilla.
The things.
Yeah, but
Matthew Broderick.
yeah, okay, all right. No,
That's our connection.
yes, he's a different iguana. Yeah, he's the green one. He's the green
Ironically, the movies came out 30 years apart. 1998,
Wow.
58. From 40 years.
I was
40
gonna
years,
say
not 30 years.
Yeah,
I can't count.
I was like,
It's okay.
wait, my math
I was thinking 68. I don't know. I was having a moment.
calculated shit in my head.
This is going to be a rough read through if this is how we're starting.
All right, let's do this.
And you're the math person too.
I know. I don't know what that says about me right now. Let's just move on.
Ah,
So the movie starts with an opening narration about rockets.
Yeah.
About how space travel is, humanity is burgeoning on or we're moving into space. And we should be excited about space. And there's crazy shit in space, but don't forget there's still crazy shit going on Earth.
Yeah.
So let's talk about butterflies.
yeah,
Yeah.
let's. The funny thing is that they talk about rockets and space and shit. It literally leads to nothing.
It almost feels like a lot of movies of this era, especially in the States, there was always like this opening narration.
Yeah, it was like the text on there,
I think has one and shit. There's just like always that opening, but whatever. Anywho, so we talk about spiders. Gosh, butterflies. About a rare species of butterfly, and they want to go. That was from Russia. They found in Japan, and they want to go find more of these in some excluded part of a secluded. Oh God, I can't even talk. What's the word I'm thinking of?
Secluded.
Secluded. Thank you. Part of Japan. They call the Tibet of Japan. It's just like a remote region, like in the mountains, hard to get to. Blah 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 blah.
So funny. The two guys show up. They get out. They talk to the village people there.
Yes,
and then he's
the
like,
village people.
The villagers.
I was like, wait, go ahead.
And the one guy just like
Start singing White
he's pretty much
Snake.
just like, I don't like this place. I want to go home.
I know. He's like, fuck. It's like, dude, we just got here.
It's like you don't even know what this is.
It was Iwaya Village.
Yes.
Hawaii.
Yeah. And that's what they're trying to find. They're trying to get to Iwaya Village. It's these two characters. I don't think we get a name for them.
No, I don't think
No,
so.
no. It's just
what's her face's
It's
Yuriko's
Yuriko's.
he
brother.
would-
One of them is Yuriko's brother, which is important later.
Oh, wait.
He would have names.
Oh, no, that's the American version. Never mind.
Why is this one named Chad? Anyway,
John and Chad?
John and Chad. So they're looking for said butterfly, and they show up at the village, right?
Yeah.
Do they go to okay? And then they're like, "Hey, we're gonna go find this butterfly." And then they keep hearing noises in the background, like monster noises, like screaming or growling and stuff like this. And one dude's like, "It's fine, it's just the wind." The other dude's like, "I want to go home." Yes, let's keep going. Let's go check it out. And
don't you meet the crazy witch doctor, the crazy guy who's like praying all the time? He's like waving shit around. He's just like, "Don't go in there. Stop doing this. This is a bad idea."
That's not. I thought he was just had a shake weight or something.
But, yeah. By all means, if this is like a properly based on some significant ritual, we're not making fun of it. We're just
that's just what was happening.
Yeah. So they find the butterfly, and they get attacked by monster off screen.
Yes.
Rocks fall, everyone dies. Oh, there's also an earthquake.
Yeah, you hear the roar, and then there's a giant landslide that kills the two guys.
And it crushes the Jeep too that they're driving.
R.I.P. Jeep.
Or Jeep.
Rip Jeep. Yep.
They're driving the Willis, right?
Yeah, they have a Willis Jeep. Yes, because there's a bunch left over from like that should have been just post the American occupation, right? Because I think we left 10 years after, or was it in? I can't remember. It was in the early 60s.
Dates in history. I remember what happened. I just don't remember.
I don't remember.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Sure. Anywho, so cut to laboratory of individuals covering that butterfly. I can't remember the doctor's name for the life of me. It was the Sugimoto, I believe. I think they're back at Dr. Sugimoto's lab. And talk about the gentleman missing. We introduced to Kenji We're also introduced to what's her name?
Yuriko.
Yuriko. Sorry, and Igor, as Angela has dubbed him. He has an actual name.
He didn't have a name.
Motohiko.
Yeah,
Is that the guy with the camera?
Yeah, it's the camera guy. It's Motohiko. Yeah. You hear his name like once or twice in the movie. We couldn't remember it, so she just kept calling him Igor because he just follows everybody around. Yeah. Like, I'm here to take pictures, but I'll be scared.
Like I stated before, the main doctor, who, like the middle-aged guy there, he looked like he was half asleep. Like he literally looked like he was like he's like the Marlon Brando of Japanese cinema, where it's just like, I'm just here because I'm under contract.
You'll find
his
that
performance went.
Yes, and you'll find that with some of the professor, doctor, like higher ups of Japanese film. I don't know if it's like a reserved style they're supposed to be, but they're like you'll notice that in quite a few of these movies. Not all of them. So they're like, hey, let's go back to this village where everybody died because we need to figure out what's going on. And Yuriko's like, I want to go because it's my brother. And they're like, all right. So Kenji, Yuriko, and Igor go back to find butterflies and find out what happened to these people. Oh, they found out the Jeep was just completely smashed. Just pancakes, and that's important.
Yep.
They eat pancakes later?
I don't think they eat pancakes in this movie. Did they eat pancakes and I missed something?
You said it was pancakes and it was important.
I don't
believe so.
I just associated it with food.
So they go back to Uwaya village and they meet a small child. There's this note right here. There's a small child.
He's gone.
Oh yeah, it was what's his name? What? Oh damn it. Gen. It was Gen. They meet a small child again with a scary mask on that they call it's a Baradagi mask, which is the demon that they feel like lives in this area, that their tribe kind of worships and sacrifices people to, I guess, what have you.
Oh yeah.
So of course, we're from a civilized nation in time. We don't believe in demons and tree folk and all that.
Kenji is just such a douche.
He is a douche.
Like, nonsense. You guys are crazy. How can you believe this stuff? And they're like, well, we kind of live here. We've kind of been here for a while, and things have happened. We hear things, so.
Yes, and I want to point this out. While we're recording this, at the time of this recording, we're currently covering the Conjuring series. And do you notice the correlations between these two for like two different cultures?
Yeah.
It's the same kind of shit.
Oh, yeah.
This isn't happening. It can't be real.
Somebody says something that might be a little bit, like, it sounds a little crazy, but it's like, no.
No, just Don, just no.
Maybe, look a little bit before you just assume there's nothing here.
Yes. Listen, I'm not there, but apparently everything's fine. Yeah. So they go to the village. I almost called him Chibi. That's the Chibi. That's the dog.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is the kid, Gen. So Gen leads him to the village, and the people of the village, they ain't having it, especially the chieftain or whatever.
Yeah.
He's waving his ceremonial shrubs.
So he's credited as Ken.
But they call him Gen.
But they call him Gen, or the
translation. Did it call him Gen in yours too?
I think it was. Yeah, I think that's what his mom kept saying when he ran off. Yeah.
IMDb's full of shit.
Yeah.
But anyway, so
because I just see Ken's mom.
It doesn't even say anything on Wikipedia, so.
So they're there and they're like, "Hey, dude!" Like the chief is like, "Listen, bro, you can't go look for these butterflies and stuff. This is sacred land. You're gonna die. You're gonna bring brimstone and hellfire on our village. It just ain't happening." Nah. Then the dog runs off. Chibi,
yes,
into the protected region, which has got this little like fence. Yeah, it's a baby gate. It's got a baby gate in front of it.
You gotta push the button. Can't get the button to work.
And then they like the kid runs off after the dog into the baby zone, not monster zone. It's two entirely separate things. It's really foggy. I don't know. Anyway, so. They're like, oh no, he's gonna die, and then the chief's like, well, fuck him, like he's done. Sorry, ma'am, like you lost that.
He crossed the threshold. He is screwed.
Yes, this feels like a very Children of the Cornish. Like, don't go to this area because you're not supposed to.
He who walks among the rows.
Exactly. But so the course Kenji and like, this is bullshit. We're just gonna go find him. So they all go out into the fogged area. They can't find them. They lose track of Yuriko. Head back to the village. Hey, where's Yuriko? We thought we were all supposed to come back. The dog comes back with a note attached to him, like, "Don't worry, I've got the kid. I'm at the lake. Just gonna hang tight."
It's a little foggy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little fog. Wait till the fog passes. I'm gonna hang tight. And instead of acknowledging the note, they're like, "Fuck it, let's go find them." And a bunch of the villagers are like, "Let's go too."
Yeah, they all go.
Like,
everyone goes.
Yeah.
The chief is like, "Please don't. This is a bad idea."
But he even got to the point where he was like, "I'm the only one here. I probably should go too."
Yeah. So, needless to say, Varan shows up out of the water,
Yes,
out of the lake.
I love his entrance.
Dude, I know you get you get some good shots of him coming out. I love the suit.
Yeah.
Like, apparently the director was not pleased with the suit. I love the design of the suit. I love the single, like you said, it looks like an iguana. It's got the single row of spines, and Angela pointed out they look like smoked glass almost.
Like frosted glass.
Frosted glass, that's it.
It's one of those things where I kind of
Really
look at the
cool.
suit where like kind of underneath where like his arms and legs are, it kind of looks like pieces were kind of loose.
Yeah,
Like to
it's
give
like
him
that.
better mobiles, like give him better movement, but it also maybe that was what the director didn't like about it. I don't know. I liked it. I thought it was cool. And, you know, I was expecting him to be kind of like Godzilla, and then he drops to all fours, and I was like, oh, this is what we're getting. Okay, cool.
Yeah. And he's buff as fuck, dude.
Oh, dude.
Like, you see his arms and shit?
He's
He's like,
oh.
I was like, Sam.
We're going in Gira style.
Baron's downtime, he's just doing fucking like push-ups and shit. It's like his gym. That's why it's all foggy and shit in there.
Yeah. The funniest thing is they see this gigantic monster come out of the lake, and they're just like, wow, this is scary. Oh, we should probably run.
Yes.
It's like so delayed. Like, go.
You'll notice another thing of this time, and I think it's just maybe the limitation of technology or what they had. The Varan's roar is it's elements of roars of other kaiju, even ones that didn't even exist yet. So there's a little bit of Godzilla in there, and there's this very stereotypical roar, which I think Varan actually pioneered, because it would later be used by an ass ton of other kaiju later. And then there's a little bit of Mothra in there prior to Mothra existing, because she wasn't until 60 or 61. I can't remember. But
yeah, because he has like a higher pitched roar in the beginning.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they all run back to the village. And I'm going to put this note that Angela in here. It says village leader is having his own rave party. Yes, he is.
He's like...
Yeah, he's
got the thumping ass waving his head.
Thing. He is like, I was like, bro, just get out of here.
He is marching to the beat of his own.
I know. He's
like in his head. He has got this music going.
And he's yelling, oh, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I just wanted to state my biggest complaint.
Go ahead.
Fuck the people. Fuck all the humans in this movie, because this dude has been chilling. They talk about how old he is, and the fact that they didn't even know that this thing existed, or it's been extinct for like 200 and something million years or something like that.
Yep.
And it's like, this dude has just been chilling in this lake for millions of years.
He's been hibernating, filter feeding.
And as soon as the humans come down and he wakes up, and all he's doing is, get out of my room, Mom. Like,
dude,
get out of my swamp.
This is my swamp.
He is pulling a Shrek, but of course he can't speak English, so he can't communicate that.
Yeah.
And then everybody's like, we gotta destroy it. I was like, how about you just leave him alone, man?
I know, he wasn't like just like, all right, guys, this is not a good place to be. There's a giant monster, and he like leveled this fucking village because we were idiots.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry for killing everybody.
Yeah, he's pretty pissed.
Yeah, so he lays waste to the village. Most people get killed, whatever. And I was gonna say something about this scene. Oh, I blanked. I can't remember.
I think he goes back to the lake though, right? After he destroys the village. He's just like, I gave you my message. I'm gonna go back to sleep now. I'm gonna go back into my underwater hole. Leave me alone. And the humans go, hey, let's go get more people. We're gonna go back to that lake again. And they're like, what the
They apparently didn't get the message.
It's like poking a bear with a stick, getting mauled by the bear, and then going back and poking it some more.
It's literally like looking inside of its cave during hibernation, and it's like, that bear looks angry. Hey bear, are you angry?
yeah.
Are you awake?
Hey bear, you want some cocaine?
Yeah.
We get the name of it. Of course, the villagers call it Baradagi because it was their demon, but we name it Varan, so we get our title for the creature. And they, Mr. What's his name?
It's Mr. Majima.
Oh, Mr. Majima. Yeah, so which
Or Dr. Majima, sorry.
Which one was this one? What was Dr. Majima? I can't remember.
I couldn't tell you.
There's multiple doctors.
So Sugimoto was the older guy, right? Like the head doctor in the beginning, right?
Yes.
Oh,
There's no pictures of him of this guy.
Yeah.
He's Sugimoto's aide, Mr. Majima. Yeah. And then what's his name shows up? I think is this where we get? No, we don't get him yet. We don't get Dr. Fujimura. Fujimura is the guy that makes the bomb later.
Yeah, this is...
So they decide to like, hey, let's go piss this guy off. So the military goes back with these guys to Varan's pad.
Yeah, with tanks,
his bedroom,
and multi-missile launcher things.
Yeah, and like, let's just throw this chemical that dissolves in the water and just see what fucking happens.
Yeah,
see if we can get it to float to the top.
See if it pisses him off.
Yeah, it's like TNT fishing. It's just like, and see what happens.
It's exactly what they did with Kong Skull Island. They dropped the
depth charge things.
The depth charges.
Yeah.
And where is he? Oh, well, there he is. You're dead.
There are some cool shots I want to point out of when the canisters are hitting the water and falling through.
Very cool.
It's like there's dropping like smoke bombs into water, and it just looks really fucking sweet.
Yeah.
I know this was one of the lower budget Toho films because it wasn't supposed to be a movie, as Parker talked about originally. But even then, people shit on these movies. But any American movie of this caliber, like any B American movie, none of them have the effects quality of these movies. I don't know. They just do too good of a damn job, in my opinion. Not none of them. Most of them aren't as good as these movies. Because like you look at the monsters for most of these, like this is comparable to, Them came out in what, 53, 54? We just talked about
Came
Them.
out the same year as Godzilla.
Yeah. The ants are cool, but you could tell they're like, big ant props. But Godzilla came out the same fucking year.
Right.
And the Godzilla suit, obviously it's a dude in a suit, but it looks fucking great. Like comparative. No offense to
the
that.
original Godzilla suit is awesome.
Yeah. Yes.
But the difference between this, even though it was supposed to be not a movie, and some of the episodes of other shows, this looks more like a movie and less like it should be a TV show.
Yeah. Oh, and also the fact I should point out, this wasn't a series of kaiju films or monster movies made back to back by Toho, because you had Godzilla year to year to year. It was 55 was Godzilla, 54 was Godzilla, 55 was Godzilla Raids Again, 56 was Rodan, 57 was the Mysterians, 58 was Varan. So this was the only one of those post 55 that was in black and white, and that was because it was supposed to be a television show.
Yep.
Shot on a lower budget.
Yep.
It still looks great. I love the even like, well, I'll get to that. I'm gonna just get sidetracked, but I love it even on black and white. It looks fucking fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Varan gets pissed because they're gassing his house,
and
he comes out of the lake and starts whooping the military's ass. And then the cast is like the main characters in the military, like, we're fucking out of here, because like what did you think was gonna happen?
Because they find out that he's indestructible.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, our conventional weapons do nothing. Like, and the poison we put in the water just killed everything but Varan, and now you fucked up his house.
And that's when they also name dropped the movie, when they was like, he's unbelievable. Yeah.
Yes. Yep. The military takes off. They're trying to leave. The whole village, like the main cast leaves, and the military's like, we gotta get the fuck out of here. We're not doing anything. Yuriko gets attacked by a tree. Yeah. She gets pinned underneath the tree because
why not?
And Kenji just comes over and just deadlifts this thing. Just, she's like, oh, thank you.
Oh, I'm better now. And then they run into a cave, and Varan's like, motherfuckers, that's my cave too.
So this scene rocked. I love the scene, and of course they slow it down. They play it at a slower slower speed. So it's him just clawing at this mountainside, and it just looks so cool. And especially when they change it to the you're seeing it from the two characters looking out, and you just kind of see the scales of Varan, and then I think his eye shows up at one point, and it's really cool shots. You
could tell there's like green screen used there, but you don't notice as much.
Yeah.
Right? And they do a pretty good job masking.
This is 1958. I'm not judging a movie
even with
This
the
whole-
higher resolution, you're not
Yeah.
supposed to be seeing some of this stuff.
No.
It still looks really good.
Oh,
Again,
absolutely.
testament to the effects makers for this
Yes.
of this film. They use flares, and Varan's like, "Oh, piece of candy," and he just follows the flares, right?
Yeah.
Like, deuce is good. Shiny, yeah, exactly. Then I think this is what happens. Varan flies away.
Okay, I had not seen a poster for this movie. He fucking turns into a flying squirrel, and I went, "Wait, what?"
Yeah, yes.
And it's not even like he runs and just glide. No, this motherfucker just shoots up and just fucking
gone.
flies away. I went, "Oh, okay."
He's
To be honest, it made me laugh. It made me laugh out loud because it was goofy looking. It reminded me of Godzilla floating on his tail. I was like, wait a second. And then I looked at the posters. The original Varan poster is him with his, with the skin, the wings, like he's flying. And I was like, well, I didn't look at a poster. So I was in shock when I was like, now he's flying?
Well, you know what? You only have to deal with it once. Because it only happens once.
That's true. It does.
Well, if I can give you any credence to that, it actually only happens twice in the existence of this character in a film.
Oh, really?
Varan only shows up 2 times. Anyway, we'll get to that at a later point. What now?
Poor Varan.
I know. Varan gets no love. Such a great design. Outside the flying squirrel thing. I don't mind it, but, I get why it's shocking because there's no there's no precedence.
No.
It's just like, fuck it, bitches, I'm out. Woo!
Like,
Screw your gravity. He's just an anti-gravity generator.
Like I said, it's like watching Hedorah fly.
Yeah, Hedorah does that.
Just like this flat thing that goes whoop.
Yep.
Whoop.
I can't wait till we get to that fucking movie. Excuse me. The military. So Varan disappears. The military's like, we gotta find this motherfucker. Well, you drove him out. Like you let the rabid dog out of its fence.
Yep.
Like it's it's loose upon the world. And then he like ices these dudes on fishing boats.
Yeah, these poor dudes just out
I
there
know.
trying to make a living, and they're not getting any fish. And then they look out. I like how there's like the last guy notices that he's out there because they see the bubbling, and then of course his head like starts to come out of the water, and then he's right on top of that boat, and he just eats it.
Yeah,
eat some bros in a boat.
I said eat some bros in a boat.
He does. He sure does.
Yes. Varan attacks the military attacks Varan with rockets.
Yes, it's really cool. I love in this movie, and I talk about it in the scene before when the military's fighting Varan, the use of like remote control tanks and boats and stuff, where you see there are scenes where they're actually using tanks, like you could tell it's an actual tank, and then there are the scenes where it's just a little toy soldier on the top. It's just kind of flopping around, but I just love the little remote control tanks, and then during the water fight scene, there's like it had to have been remote control boats. Because there was one boat that looked like this boat would have been, if this was an actual ship, it would have sank. It was so like it was doing drift moves. It was like, what's going on here?
The only
gets caught in a
whirlpool.
A whirlpool, and you just see it spinning around. Like, wait a minute,
Like,
they can't do that.
Well, that happens in a Godzilla movie, and we'll talk about it later. It's got a submarine. Anyway. This is a shame because I believe this was shot in the pool, the big pool, which does not exist anymore in Toho Studios. It was made, I believe it was built for them to make propaganda films in World War II. Okay. And almost any Godzilla, pretty much every Godzilla movie up to 2004, Final Wars, I think any big water scenes were shot in this pool, and they eventually tore it down, which sucks, but what now?
Said, ooh, Final Wars.
Oh my God. Anyway, no Final. Why isn't Varan in Final Wars?
Oh.
That pisses me off. Anyway, let's keep going. This is I like this scene because they like start shooting rockets at Varan, and Varan's like, dude, I'm not flying away this time. I'm just gonna swim.
Yeah.
Ocean's big. And there's those cool shots of they're like, fuck it, we'll use depth charges on him. Because
chilling.
He's just hiding behind a rock.
He's literally doing this behind a rock. Like, the fuck, can I come out now? No, they're dropping more. They're dropping more.
Oh,
I just love the whole scene though, because you can tell that they're like not by him.
No, and it's not phasing him either.
No, they're all clouded, and the he's all faded out, and the rock behind him, like It's like, this is my pillow. I'm just watching.
Just waiting. They'll stop at some point. They'll run out.
Yeah. Just watch Texas Watch. Like, fuck, I got all the time in the world, guys. I've been around for 200 million years. This is nothing. Then he does what all good kaiju do at this point. I'm just gonna go to Tokyo.
Yep.
Why not?
Yep.
You know, let's head toward Tokyo Bay. And they have some elaborate plan they're gonna use in Tokyo Bay using depth charges to get him or something like that and draw him. I don't remember. It's not super important. It doesn't really do it outside the depth charges they use right there in the ocean.
Yeah.
And then he's just like, I'm out. And they're like, hey, he's going to Tokyo. What? Where he attacks the airport? What did I put?
Well, the airport's the end, right?
I said, hey, hold on.
No,
I'm not gonna say it out loud.
We're gonna get to
okay,
it.
I need to read the rest of the notes. It's not there. Okay, you can read that one.
He can't remember.
I got a horrible memory. I've seen this movie. I was trying to get everybody as much information as I can.
Same exactly the same way.
So Varn, I put approaches, but he just attacks the airfield.
Yes.
I can't remember the airport, but it's a substantial airport. This makes me think of War of the Gargantuas. It's got one of the best airports.
It's Haneda Airport.
Yes, which is in Tokyo.
Haneda Airport.
And they devise some new bomb by Dr. Fujimura, which he uses. It's originally designed to destroy deep rock, like dense stone, but it has to be inserted inside the rock. And I said on the exterior, it doesn't have as much effect. So I believe this first shipment is like a shipment of these bombs coming in. They're like waiting, like when are these bombs going to get here? Like Varn's attacking the airport.
These trucks are flying through the airport. I'm like, they have bombs. They probably should chill the fuck out.
This isn't safe. And like the military,
by bugs, guys. Sorry.
You missed me earlier. I got hit right here, right after my introduction.
Swatting flies, and I think a little small moth just flew up my face.
There's no insects in this movie except for the moths. And that's probably why. And maybe for our next movie.
Yeah.
Yes. So anyway, so Varan's attacking. These guys like show up in these trucks. Like, listen, we said we bring them to the airfield. We're not fucking putting them in front of a monster. They're like, we're out.
Yeah, but we're far. We went far enough, and that's Kenji's just like, I got this. Hops in there, drives down the beach.
Just drives it underneath Varan. Varan's just like, hey guys, like he's like looking at everything else going on.
Yeah.
Bomb is like in his crotch, essentially his dick on his taint, and then like Kenji gets out and like but did you know that they're running a rope to it, like a detonating cord the whole fucking time? He's like running, Kenji run, and
his run is really slow. Like it was kind of laughable how slow.
It's the Baywatch run.
He's just like,
yeah, this is normal.
Sprint,
please put some effort, Kenji. Anyhow, so Varan just chills this whole time, and then they detonate the truck, and it just fucking like rocks Varan. He just
he falls down. You're like, he dead. Woo!
I would like to point out something important here. Haruo Nakajima was actually injured in that shot in real life.
I mean, I'm not surprised. I feel like they did a lot of sketchy stuff to get these shots.
It
was just a little bit overboard. I feel like they could have made it look bigger without.
It was a good sized pop underneath him. That's for sure. That would have hurt, even with all that vinyl and rubber on him.
Did his balls get charred or something? Because that thing was right at his crotch.
I don't know. I know it hurt the inside of his thighs and stuff real bad. I don't know if it was like burns and damages. I don't know what it all did. I just know he got injured during that scene, but he kept going. He trucked through. It's not the first time, not the first Godzilla or kaiju suit actor I've heard do shit like that, but
not the first time that he had issues in a suit either.
No, it's not. The worst, I think the worst ones was the second main Godzilla actor. He had a lot of real bad ones we'll talk about when we get to those movies. But Varan keeps going. It did some damage to him. He was clearly wounded, so they knew they could kill him. They could do stuff to him. Even though Varan never came off like Godzilla unstoppable.
No.
At any point in the movie. Like, you could tell he was strong because he was a big monster, right? But not to the same extent. So, Dr. Fujimura comes in and they devise, like, hey, what if we attached bombs to flares? Because Varan apparently likes eating flares. And then Varan starts eating flares.
Man.
Because he chases the flares earlier.
Yeah.
And he's like, delicious, sparkly candy.
When they show the close-ups of him eating the flare, it's hilarious because you know that it's a dude's hand.
Mm-hmm.
It's
a glorious hand puppet.
Hilarious.
Fucking awesome.
It's just like
oh. Dude, it's so good. Like, I guess he just likes the shiny stuff, the sparkly things. But like,
now I need Yoshi's. Yum.
no, yeah, please, somebody make that clip and put Yoshi sounds when he's yes.
Oh my god!
But like, this isn't brought up other than he chases the flares earlier in the movie.
Yep.
Which okay, I can kind of understand a little bit. He likes, the color can attract things, or bright lights can. But then he just starts eating them, and like, let's put bombs on them. Like, we're running out of time, and then they just put bombs on them.
Not all the time in the world.
Yeah,
apparently.
and they start dropping bombs, and Varan just eats the bombs.
Yeah,
and then hold on. After he eats the bomb, and I think this is before the bomb blows up. I don't think this is before the bomb blows up. There's a scene where he's whapping his tail around, and it literally cuts to a shot of Godzilla 1954, Godzilla's tail.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
Hitting a building. We were sitting there watching. I was like,
he had to
and like
rewind
a tail hits the building. I was like, what the fuck? That was Godzilla's tail, and I had to rewind it to confirm it. And I was like, yeah, that's from the original movie. Anyway.
So two bombs go off because he eats two. One of them goes off, which causes him to fall down, and then he kind of is like, "Fuck this! I'm going back in the water."
Yep. And then he falls in the water, and
then
you go ahead there. You tell everybody what happens there.
It says belly bombs ruin Varan's day and his toilet.
Oh no,
there you go.
He's dead. He did.
What if he just had like the other one just gave him like a fierce shit?
Yeah, he's just
like, I'm done.
Yeah, they think he's dead, but he's just like, oh, that feels so good.
He's just got real bad indigestion. He's like, guys, I'm done.
That's the most explosive shit I've ever taken in my life.
I mean,
and then I just put Finn because the movie just kind of ends right there.
I said that's what happens when you eat Taco Bell.
And then he said one more of them was something along the lines. I don't think they have Taco Bell. They probably got some kind of fierce food that's known for giving you like abdominal problems in Japan, but I just don't think it's Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Spicy ramen.
Could be spicy ramen. But the movie just kind of like, oh no, Varan's dead. That's one more mystery of the world, bitch slapped by human progress.
I think somebody says, oh, yep, that's another victory for humans. And I went, no, you all suck.
Yeah, it wasn't, Varan did nothing wrong, dude. You instigate, well, not nothing, but you instigated this. This is your fault.
I mean, he did a lot of damage, but it was because the humans suck. Yeah.
All right. That being said, now that we've talked about Varan the Unbelievable, Parker, what did you think about the movie?
I thought this movie was fine. I definitely, and I really liked Varan. I liked how he looked. I liked the suit. The human characters were all just kind of there. They really just, I didn't like any of them, and I think it was most of the point. I don't like the whole, humans just. I mean, it just shows how shitty humans are.
Yeah.
Whereas it's like, we're going to destroy this 1,000,000-year-old creature because we pissed it off. It went into his home. Also, the fact is, I just felt like this movie was very like rinse and repeat, where it was just kind of the same thing happening like 3 times over. But it's like, well, now the first part is in a jungle. Now we're on the water. Now we're at an airport. But it's the same thing over and over again. Where it's just Varan, it shows Varan literally destroying an area for like 10 straight minutes with no human dialogue, no cut to a human. It's literally just Varan destroying things for 10 minutes, which is cool, but it's also like, okay, let's move on and try to, I don't know. I feel like they could have done more creative things with the human characters. Like when we talked about Shin Godzilla on the podcast, I like the whole, seeing the inside of a kaiju attack. Godzilla attacks wherever I think it was Tokyo in that movie too, right?
Yeah, it's all over the place, yeah.
But you're seeing everything that's going on with the humans and how they're going to try to destroy this creature. And I just thought it was there was nothing really creative about the way they went about stuff. It was just kind of this, we saw the same thing 3 times and then it was over. But Varan was cool. I really liked Varan. I just did not like any aspect of the human characters at all. Like none of it. Like they were all just pointless.
Yeah.
And I feel bad for Varan.
Yeah.
Well shot though. This movie looked really good for a movie like we stated. I don't know what the budget was, but probably wasn't that much. And it looked really good, especially for something that was supposed to originally be a TV series. I just thought the way they shot Varan always looked good. He was always like either it was a close up of him or it was just shot to a point where it's not blocking out things. You're seeing the full destruction from him. The miniature work always is great in these kaiju movies because there's a lot of them. I could just only imagine being the miniature, all the artists who work on the miniatures, and they're like, okay, so this is the scene where we're gonna destroy all that work today.
Dude, you can't just wait till we get some other movies where there's like this fucking massively elaborate shit, and like, dude, we get one shot.
Yeah,
that's it.
It's wild, it's wild stuff. But overall,
the original Ghidorah, I just think of Ghidorah, the three-headed monster, is really good for that. Go ahead.
Overall, though, I think it's from the kaiju movies I have seen, this is kind of like it's like 50% for me. It's like 5 out of 10. I don't know if I'll ever watch it again. But I would love to see them bring Varan back. I think it would be cool to see him in other things. I think it's a really cool character.
I just had an epiphany moment.
Okay. Do you want to talk about it?
It's about this.
Oh, okay. Okay, well then you can, if you don't care, you can let people know what you thought of the movie.
I mean, I enjoyed it. This is the second time
Probably.
I think I've watched it. Just because there's certain things about it I remember happening, like the
players.
No, the village guy.
Oh yeah, the rave, sweet rave party.
The rave party guy.
You need your sweat to fuel sweet rave parties.
Yeah, the guy who led it. I mean, to be honest, he was probably that entire village best human characters because they were just minding their business. He was doing his best. He was doing what he thought would protect them from Varan, and these stupid outsiders come in and they're like, they literally are just throwing rocks at him, just like, come out. We know you're there.
Isn't that usually how it goes?
Yeah, sometimes. Yep. And then sometimes it's just space apes.
Yep.
Well, you get King Kong. He ain't done anything to them.
No, they go to his island and they steal his ass.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
They were perfectly fine. They were living with them.
Somebody sort of carpet bombing my house. I'd be a little pissed off.
Yeah, like what the hell?
I mean, needs more Varan.
Yes.
Shot very well. Love, the effects. I know there's not much at this time that they can do outside of certain things. I agree with Parker though, 5 out of 10.
Yeah. I'm not too far off from you guys. I think I like this movie a little bit more because my knowledge of Varan first started in growing up watching Destroy All Monsters with my dad, which is the second appearance of Varan, and he's in that for all of like 4 seconds. But he's in the movie. And I was like, who the fuck's this, Dad? And he's like, oh, that's this, and this character. And then I played the original Godzilla NES game, and he's the third kaiju you fight in that game. So it's like, oh, fucking sweet, Varan. Cool. And like, I was like, what's this all about? And then I didn't even see this movie until, I don't have it here, but they released that DVD box set back in 2007 or 8. It was I think the only DVD release we ever got of this movie in the United States. I don't even know if there's a VHS copy of it. I have no fucking clue. And of course, of the original English version. But I think I like it for the obscurity more than anything else. It's not a movie I come back to a lot. I mean, well, outside of Varan. But I love the way it's shot. I've always got mad respect for any Toku stuff. Like I've already mentioned before, this is shit I love. And I like it's black and white. I love how this movie is black and white. I love how when it's supposed to be dark, it feels dark. Not like some movies where it's like, it's dark outside. I'm like, no, dude, it's fucking day. You just have a lot of fucking filters or whatever on the camera. And
it's the sun out.
But yes, the characters they're no offense, they're throwaway characters. There's nobody interesting or dynamic in this film except for the village elder, who fucking dances the dance of life.
Yeah, he's just trying to protect his village.
Yeah, man, just live, die the way you live, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Anyway, I still enjoy it, but I think it's like, it's 6-ish if I was to get a number score, 5, 6. It's actually, funny thing is
5.2.
Back when I used to do my own video reviews on YouTube, and they're still there, and I'm not telling anybody where they're at, but this was my most viewed video It's my 6th episode I ever did. I don't know why. I guess nobody watched this movie but me. But everybody wanted to know about it.
I need you to tell me because I really want to listen to it.
I'll tell you afterwards.
Okay.
I'll make the viewers find it.
You can watch me.
It's so bad, dude. It was from right after Victor was born. So it would have been 2000. No, it would have been 2008. That video came out.
Wow.
Do you hear me?
It's very old. 15 years.
Should make him watch Matango.
Matango's good. Not that video. God, don't watch
your
that video.
video.
Oh, fuck
Oh, I'm
that.
watching
Watch
them all.
Matango.
You're gonna tell me your YouTube channel, and
I will
listen or watch them all.
It involved real mushrooms.
The better ones are my earlier. Like, I'll tell you later. Anyhow, we're gonna wrap this up. I just want to thank everybody for tuning in, for watching. Well, of course, it's our patron, $5 patrons. Thank you very much. And if this happens to end up on the free feed, thank you for watching it, because it could happen.
Yes.
You never know. And I will say this, because it was on Patreon and there's no in-print version of this. You can, various streaming services have it for rent or whatever, but where you watch Internet Movie Archive.
Yes.
Our Internet Archive has this, the subtitled Japanese version you can watch for free.
Yes. And it's a very good rip. So
yeah, so check that out.
Yeah.
Anything else, folks, or are we good to go?
I think we're good.
You just about called me gentleman.
I almost said gentleman. I did.
I'm good.
So we appreciate y'all for tuning in to the Monster Zone.
Yes. The Monster Zone.
And we'll see you guys next time. Thank you.
Bye.